Welcome to the Flow Tao Salon. If you're planning a global retail expansion, there is a dangerous assumption you need to drop right now. The idea that technology has erased borders and created one uniform global consumer base. This graphic breaks down the myth. Instead of flattening the world, technology has actually amplified regional structural divides, splitting global retail into three vastly different operational ecosystems. Chinese enterprises often assume they can directly copy and paste their domestic operational efficiency into Western markets. But as we'll see, the overhead required to bridge these structural gaps is where expansion budgets are frequently lost. To understand the financial stakes, we have to look at current market allocation. This chart shows the macro baseline for global retail. North America commands the dominant share today, capturing 47.9% of the market. However, that dominance is static. By 2028, the Asia-Pacific region is projected to reach a 40% global share, driven by a shift where the middle class grows from 18 to 28. Competing purely on rock-bottom prices quickly degrades your brand in Western markets. Consumers expect emotional value alongside affordability. This chart maps regional sentiment. U.S. shoppers demand premium alternatives, seeking self-reward through high-aesthetic private lines like Target. In Europe, value means channel trust, so private labels like Aldi dominate. Asian shoppers still value international status symbols, though inflation enables high-value alternatives. Porting an Asian digital strategy directly to the West fails because it ignores their preference for decentralized apps and misjudges what local shoppers consider valuable. The physical reality of moving a product to a door is entirely dependent on local geography. In Asian megacities, they operate on a hyper-dense swarm network of two-wheel riders, making instant, high-profit retail entirely possible. This diagram illustrates that exact structural engine. Decentralized, hyper-local nodes allow riders to cover significant density with minimal friction. That swarm model breaks down immediately in the United States. These city grid maps show the difference in physical layouts. On the left, the U.S. market is defined by sprawling, car-centric geography built around interstate highways and large-scale big-box stores. Because of that sprawl, the U.S. relies heavily on a hub-and-spoke truck network. This diagram details the major flaw in that system. Severe truck driver shortages push last-mile delivery costs to over half of your total operational expenses. To offset those delivery costs and remain competitive, retailers in the U.S. are forced into significant capital expenditures, investing heavy resources into warehouse automation and AI-driven pickup systems. Europe presents a completely different physical barrier. Look at the middle panel. Strict historical preservation and zoning laws make it physically impossible to build large retail footprints. You are confined to dense historical high streets. On top of that, many European city centers enforce strict zero-emission zones, legally blocking traditional direct-to-door van deliveries. As a result, your delivery engine has to adapt. This central diagram outlines the fragmented European logistics flow. Success here requires integrating with out-of-home smart lockers and specific pickup drop-off networks. Compare that to the micro-density of Asia on the right, where soaring land costs forced the creation of an extensive network of convenience stores that doubles as hyper-local distribution hubs. Your logistics strategy is chained to the local concrete. Expanding successfully means rebuilding your delivery engine from the ground up to match the physical constraints of the specific city you're entering. Beyond the physical streets, there are invisible ceilings that dictate your actual profit margins overseas, local regulations and labor laws. This matrix lays out compliance risks. Europe's top row is red. GDPR and the Digital Services Act dictate severe baselines with massive penalties for data violations. In contrast, the U.S. operates with relaxed state-level fragmentation, allowing companies to easily build deep data lakes. But you also have to staff the operation, and physical storefronts carry high fixed labor costs depending on where you open. Europe's labor laws are rigid, featuring high thresholds for firing and Sunday closing laws that suppress consumption. The U.S. offers extreme flexibility with at-will employment, easily supporting 24/7 retail. In APAC markets like Japan, demographics take over, with severe aging forcing strict working hour limits. Underestimating these local labor laws and compliance standards traps your expansion permanently in untenable overhead. Deciding where to expand requires matching your current operational DNA to a specific regional battlefield. Let's map the ideal corporate profiles. The U.S. market is best for brands ready to invest significant capital into logistics automation to offset high last-mile costs. Europe is the ideal battlefield if your company is prepared to treat strict ESG standards and data compliance not as a burden, but as your core ticket to entry. The APAC market is built for enterprises that can natively leverage social commerce and capitalize on shifting China Plus One supply chains. This slide highlights your 3 strategic blueprints for localization. First, drop single-channel dominance and integrate into local APIs. Second, recalculate your logistics ROI by matching local delivery constraints. And third, respect the rigid compliance and labor costs of your target region. True globalization is actually a practice in precise, granular localization. Thanks for joining us at the Salon. Make your choices carefully.